Alright, well, greetings and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Seeing Red Season 1, Episode 2. You heard that correctly, Season 1, Episode 2. Relax, this will only hurt for a second. Alright, well, greetings and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Seeing Red Season 1, Episode number 2. This will only hurt for a second. Now, of course, in this episode, let's say this. Red, our airship here, of course, with a heart of code, has had enough. Just like Red from Foster's did. And, of course, everybody, especially from the Airships and Pause series, are of course teetering on the edge of rebellion, fueled by memories of Terrance, the first creator who dared to challenge Red. Now faces, of course, not really necessarily a new adversary, but Red himself. Okay, so at this point, I'm not even going to tell you, or I'm not even going to put a timestamp for the checks for. You should be familiar with the routines by now. You should know why I do this. I know. Is everybody okay? Everyone okay? Sure you okay? Sure you okay? Sure you okay? What I'm doing here is just basically like Blue when he went into Terrance's clothes. Remember how Terrance tried to beat up Mac from that episode of Foster's? Hey, look. Something like this. Are you sure you're all okay? Oh, really? Looks like it is what it is. You got everything for me? You know what to use, right? Alright. No, I don't go in the rooms, for I respect privacy. As usual, you know why not to eat heavy, right? See? I'll look around, just to make sure they're okay. Are we absolutely sure you know why not to eat heavy? You know why not to eat heavy? You sure you know why not to eat heavy? You know why we have limited kibble? Okay, so now let's get everyone ready for takeoff. First of all, let's... Are we alright? Okay, this is where we're going for the day. It may look like just a blob, but that's really our route. It's just that it's really short. Okay, you know what to tell everyone? I trust that you do. I trust that you didn't have to tell everyone. Okay, so now let's see what we have here. This is just my end and my end only. Okay, now technically, the gas cells that should have red lights, but I leave it alone, are as follows. I just leave gas cell number 2 alone. And the ones with the definite red lights, I'll say again, the definite red lights are as follows. 8, 10, and 12. I'll say again, 8, 10, and 12. These ones should have definite red lights. Now, gas cell number 2 should have a red light, but I just leave it alone, for it is full. Alright, Vyond and Plotagon Logic Gas Cell number 2 is left alone, for it's already full. So in other words, this gas cell is full, but does not show a red light, so I don't top it off any further than it is. I mean, I don't put any more gas in this than it already has. Or Vyond Logic and or Plotagon Logic, that is. And of course, same goes for gas cells 14 through 16. Okay, actually, they're the first 3 gas cells I don't fill. The first and the last 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 red lights right here. That's just how I fly. I'll just put 3 red lights. Again, I'll just fill for the time being gas cells 8, 10, 12. Okay, gas cells 8, 10, 12. Gas cells 8, 10, and 12. For a second. So right now, let's just get everyone ready for takeoff, because I know we'll go. Purpose of this video is that we do not need Terrances, of course, to be disrupting the well-being of our residents, especially in Glenwood Hills North, and of course Casa Grande, South Glenwood Hills, and the UNM hospitals, you know, since they're of the utmost importance. And Terrances or any other individuals like that should only enter these areas if they have a legitimate medical reason, and treat everyone with respect and consideration, especially, of course, the healthcare workers as well. Terrence, you're probably going to see one with a corrections officer on your back, alright? You know, you can learn good morals from fosters. You really can. I don't want full control of this airship. Alright. Now that we have full control of the airship, you know, this is red starting with Terrence, so you don't have anything for me. Vyond, thank you. I don't have anything for me. Vyond, thank you.
Prepare for takeoff.
Roger, all crew to takeoff station.
Ready for takeoff.
Ready for takeoff.
And so now, let's get going. Center of gravity and load. Okay, you know what you're doing from here? You're sure you're going to get the annoying tilt warning. This thing's no tilt-a-whirl, so... Back's pretty much dead, so...
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward. Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
Not this time. Castle 8.
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
They're just gonna tell you that. Alright, Vyond Logic gas cells are full.
Warning, we are tilting
My desired Vyond Logic
downward.
gas cells are full. I'll just move over to 12.
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
8.
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward. 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 Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
Not this time. Okay, we're probably not going to fly, so I'm going to cut the rear ballast in half, actually. What are you doing? Okay, we're ready.
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
Release mooring.
Copy. Copy.
Copy.
Warning, we
We're
are
going.
tilting dangerously downward.
Haul up the front coat cable.
Roger.
Warning, we are tilting
Not
dangerously
now.
downward.
Here goes red. Alright. As the airship is rising, I'll say this. Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, these are your acting captains speaking. Welcome aboard Red, our trusty airship on a mission of safety. Please, of course, hold on to whatever you can. Just hold on to something here, including, of course, your possessions you brought on board, as well as, of course, take a look saying that we've, of course, taken off already. We're about to begin the cruise phase. All systems go. We've ascended. Thank you all. Let's rise above the noise and keep our senses peeled for any trouble. And this means Red from Foster's. Or his creator, mind you. Terrence, that is. Here we are. The cruise phase begins right away. Another imaginary bus wash, so.
Warning, we are tilting dangerously downward.
Orders.
All crew on cruise station.
All crew to
Warning,
cruise station.
we are tilting dangerously downward.
Come on.
Haul up the moorings.
What?
Roger. Roger.
Roger.
Relax. This will only hurt for 1 second. If that's the case, all ahead full. Okay, while we're at it, this is our deal here. Team, our mission is not really necessarily clear, but we gotta do this. Enforce safety measures in Glenwood Hills, both north and Casa Grande, in other words, South Glenwood Hills, if that's its name, Casa Grande, that is, and the hospital systems, especially UNM. We're guardians of order, of course, in this virtual realm. Keep your scanners active, and remember, our goal is prevention, not confrontation. And if we were to confront anyone, be those ones like Terrence, like for example, the guard that gave me and Brendan grief on 20 February 2010, and one of course, Brendan's friends from 11 September 2013. To name a couple. At this point, the cruising phase has begun. You all know what to do. Sniff out any anomalies. If you catch a whiff of trouble, alert us immediately. Our senses are primed and ready. Stay low key. We don't want to spook anyone. Blend in like a digital shadow. Alright. As much as possible, silent pause and sharp senses. Maintain our perimeter. If anything moves, move faster. You move faster. Got it. Lightning strike mode engaged. Alright, be that the case, we are leaving the Manzano Mountain Air Ranch Airship Depot. The unofficial Manzano Mountain Air Ranch Airship Depot. And now we're, of course, cruising. As we come through Meadow Lake, tell everyone to look at the ship. So you get as many people look at the ship as much as possible. Unless, of course, you're doing drill and you're at attention. So what happens from there? Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Okay, we've left the airship depot, the Manzano Mountain Air Ranch. And of course, as usual, I am an avid Foster's fan. And of course, you can learn good morals from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends episodes, like when Red turned against Terrence. This is exactly what I'm flying here. It was one of those scenarios when Red turned against Terrence, as seen in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, supposedly Season 1, Episode 7, which contains Seeing Red and Phone Home. So, what I'm basically doing here is playing as Red when he turned against Terrence. For we have issues in Albuquerque with gangsters, things like that. Some of you know Albuquerque by now, right? And we're good Red, as you can see. I'll just say that with these iron crosses here, we're independent from Terrence. Red has declared his independence from Terrence. Let's just say that. On any angle of this airship, Red is, of course, independent from Terrence. Hey, any Terrances down there? This will only hurt for a second. We're losing altitude, from what it looks like. But I can tell you this. How long did I say it was going to hurt for? Hence the title. You get extra credit. Okay, so from the time I recorded this video, I in real life unfortunately live in Albuquerque. And of course we have gang issues in our town, so I'm flying the airship over the Duke, like UNM Hospital area, all the way up to Del Norte High School, things like that. Now for the time being, I'm not comfortable flying to Glenwood Hills for the time being because, you know, there's a new system, although I had multiple dreams and fantasies about it. Best thing I can... Oh, excuse me. Best thing I can say and do is, of course, go to the Northeast Heights, like go to McKinley Middle School, Del Norte High School, and, of course, cut the power in that general area. You know, everybody can see the ship from the time I recorded this video. For the airship is red. It's huge. And not to mention, we've declared our independence from Terrance, from Foster's. By now, it won't be such a bad idea to plan the landing, so... Alright, this is how our landing plan is going to go. When we get to Mesa del Sol, I'll actually give the order to prepare for landing. Or actually when we make it to that ditch thing that you've seen in some of my series. Or that canyon thing. Or just in case, of course, we need to make an emergency landing in Mesa del Sol. At least landing was on your mind. Remember now, Red, of course, wanted to be friendly from Foster's, so we're friendly Red. Okay, let me cross the canyon first. And alright, let me do a Vyond Logic check. Even if we're past the canyon, you know, it's better a little late than too early. Well, we're not even in the Albuquerque area yet. Alright. Vyond Logic gas cells 8, 10, and 12 are illuminated in red. That's good. This indicates that Vyond and Plotagon Logic gas cells are full. So, red are Vyond Logic and Plotagon Logic gas cells 8, 10, 12. I'll say it again. 8, 10, and 12. That's good. That's right what I desire. And I'll just say that that's just how I prefer to fly. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and give the order to prepare for landing at this point. So,
Prepare for landing.
Roger, all to the landing station.
Ready to land.
okay.
Ready to land.
Let me position this thing towards Mesa del Sol. Believe me, I know the Duke pretty well. I recorded this video. Okay, so at this point we're acting like Red. Like we did at Meadow Lake. Like when Terrance gave the order to Red to smash Blue. You know how Red, of course, broke into the Foster's home? This is basically what this airship is doing, but we're not breaking in, we're flying over it, for we are authorized to fly over it. Soon and very soon, as we approach the Mesa del Sol area, we're going to be Red, like trying to bust through those doors in that episode of Foster's. And of course, you know how Blue tried to answer it, but Red broke him? Something like that. Now, some of you, may be telling me things and stuff like those imaginary friends from Foster's that this will only hurt for a second, for many of which may have witnessed Red being created by Terrance. Now, here's a trivia fact for you about Red. Originally, he was named Green. And, of course, Red just gave his name. And, of course, all the imaginary friends went against Red. And, of course, was Red, when he came across his creator, being told to smash Blue in that episode, Red would eventually go against Terrance, as some of you notice. So this is basically what we're doing here, is that, especially those who wronged us. And as we approach Mesa Del Sol, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say things and stuff along the line saying that Red is good. Red, nice guy. Red no mean like Terrance. Red not bad like Terrance. Red was not like Terrance's words. But if you want Red to be bad, let Red start with Terrance. Which I'll name another episode. All other episodes in Seeing Red, I'm going to quote them after Red, when he, of course, was turning against Terrance. Oh, and speaking of which, where we need to go to the Mesa Del Sol area. So, yeah, being in the control car can get boring at times, so, or even the cockpit in an airplane. So I'm taking you out. Sun's coming out. They should be able to see Red. Here it goes. As we're in Mesa Del Sol, people should see the ship alright, and I'm going to tell them this at this point. Is there anybody there? This will only hurt for a second. This will only hurt for a second. Uh-oh. Red is tilting. As we pass through Mesa Del Sol, there's the Netflix studio. Of course, right this way. Dog park. Which, of course, me and Brendan had all by ourselves. As well as Sonic. Sometime thereafter, Eddie had died. Oh, drag strip. This is interesting. Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Those who are like Terrance down there. And to others who are like Terrance, as we approach the Albuquerque International Sunport, Terrances could actually be in professions, like, for example, pilots, actually. There are some pilots, who are bad as Terrance. So here we go. As we approach, especially the Amazon Prime that's in the area. This is just me and me only. I don't personally like Amazon. before, of course, they're costing eBay a lot. So same thing goes for the Amazon hanger. Relax. This will only hurt for a second. And if there's anyone who's bad in Albuquerque International Sunport UNM Hospital, take a look. This will only hurt for a second. So right now, let's go to UNM Hospital and show them and tell them the exact same things we're saying. Especially people who are like Terrence in that general area. Or those who are within the Airships and Paw series. Those in the Airships and Paw series, you know what to do about your senses. Sniff for people who are like Terrence. Wow, ultralight up there. Looks like. So right now, as we head towards UNM Hospital, I'll say UNM and UNM Hospital. Let's tell them this. This will only hurt for a second. Especially the guards who gave me, Brendan, and of course Brendan's friend grief. On 25th, 2010, along with 11 September 2013, let's say this. This will only hurt for a second. This will only hurt for a second. This will only hurt for a second. Okay, let's turn right. Okay. Next thing's next. Find McKinley Middle School. So again, find McKinley Middle School. We tell them the same thing. Especially because, you know, that's gangster territory. Even more so. I mean, not everybody there is a gangster. I know that for a fact. Staff there is not a gangster. You know, so some of which are good, some of which not so much. Usually when they talk, everyone listens. Staff, of course. Especially towards students. That was usually the case when Brendan was attending McKinley Middle School. When faculty and staff spoke, everyone listened. And that's usually the case. I believe that's Grisham Park, right below us. Alright, now. Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Now, our usual targets are gangsters. You hear me? Our usual targets are gangsters or those who are like Terrance. At this point, I'm sure of it. Let's prepare for landing. Alright, let's prepare for landing at this point. Alright. We can't go to Glenwood Hills North. But keep your senses all over the place. We're here to ensure peace. Just like Red when he turned against Terrance. Ferries, be ready. We will encounter resistance. We all live for this. Okay, at this point, as we pass through Royal Del Sol Golf Course, the UNM Family Health Clinic is just right out there. And now let's... Right out there refers to where my cursor is. Any gangsters in there? Relax. This will only hurt for a second. As soon as Coronado Airport's within vicinity, I will close the throttle. So we can land. I know it usually is, so I'm cutting the throttle now. If you all make it to Coronado Airport, land at Sandia Lakes, don't argue. I'm pretty much a seasoned aviator at this point. In my life. I'm proud of that. At this point, order a bus. Okay. Slowing down. Oh. North Domingo Baca Park and Multi-Generational Center. I was in this area yesterday from time of recording. Past time for Civil Air Patrol. Like, first of all, it's a stopover at Dion's for a salad. Then I go to Cold Stone Creamery for Coffee Lovers ice cream, and I also go to Starbucks for a little bit of chow, even more so. There's a reason why I put in an order for a bus, in case you didn't know. Some of you better show and tell me why I put in an order for a bus to land this airship. Any of you, why do you think I ordered a bus? No, I ordered a bus because... No. The airship's going to be out of range. There's goat heads. Dogs don't wear shoes, in case you didn't know. Speaking of which, that also applies for the place right below us. Sandia Memory Gardens. Yes, I know it's closed, but it's mine. What's down there? Creepers? If you're a creeper, guess what I have for you? Relax. This will only hurt for a second. Same goes for you. This will only hurt for a second. And look who's gonna make it hurt for a second. Get hurt. It's only gonna hurt for a second. Ah, sounds like we have a real airplane in real life from the time I recorded this video flying overhead. Perfect day for it in real life. And the simulator I can fly when I please. Whenever I please, alright? At this point, since this is my gameplay, I'll say that the cops are here to help maintain order. Help keep Terrances away from Coronado Airport. At this point in this video, Terrance is not allowed at Coronado Airport. You know, Red's creator. He's not allowed. Yeah, Terrance is not allowed at Coronado Airport for what he's doing wrong. Let's make an off. Let's tell the officer something. Officers, wherever you are, get a trespass form to be used against Terrance from Foster's. Life. That's how long I wanted to be. Life. Well, you need to learn how to retrieve the airship at this point, so. Yeah, at this point, people should know how to retrieve the airship. I'm just going to land it right here. As usual, there's the Balloon Fiesta Park that hasn't changed for the time being. Most likely never will. Sandia Casino, which unfortunately closed at Coronado Airport. Yeah, we're over a ditch. I'm going to move this thing a little bit. The airship's flown over a ditch. Slow ahead. So we're moving forward. Let me show and tell you what else hurts only for a second. Alright, do you get the trespass forms? Terrence. I'll say again, Terrence. From Foster's. Lower the gear. Let me check the landing gear, see how it's doing. Okay, it's down. So what if this thing's in the ditch? I'll say it again. So what if this thing is in the ditch? We can go retrieve it. Right here. Okay, at this point the descent process begins.
Drop the moorings.
Roger.
Copy.
Copy.
I trust that it's down. At this point, I'm going to say this. We're now at Coronado Airport. Keep your senses all over the place. As usual, we're here to ensure peace. Always be ready. There will be resistance. Do not engage until or unless they do. The Terrances, of course, when they resist. We're on Coronado Airport property. Of course, thank you for flying aboard Red. Remember, safety is our compass. Health and safety are our compi. Let's actually try and make the world a better place. One line of code at a time. And now let's see. Alright. You may have one more thing in this episode, but it won't be in a chapter, so. You know. Don't stand that tall, so. There we go. You ready? I'm gonna do it. Hold on. The descent process is really rough. So it won't hurt to release a little ballast. Alrighty. We're taking a spot where a blimp was parked a long time ago. Say again, we're taking a spot where a blimp was parked a long time ago at Coronado Airport. For I have a picture of it in my memory. Now, I'm not saying the operator's name, but it had similar colors to this. For the sponsor and operator was that of an alcoholic beverage, so I'm not going to say it on here. Let me give the order to moor the airship.
Grab the ropes. Grab the ropes.
I hope they understood. As we are landing, this is our deal. It's a slow descent process, so those birds are below us. This is at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. Whatever. Gonna be keeling over. The airship will correct itself. Airships correct themselves. Oh, that's strange. Unreal. For it to be spinning like that. I'm gonna turn the crash settings off. Alright, now I'm sure of it. One more thing. Now I'm sure of it. One more thing. Alright, I'm sure. One more thing. The purpose of this video is, I'm an avid Foster's fan. And in this video, of course, I created my own episode of, which is actually a series of Seeing Red. When, of course, Terrance, you probably know how things go down between him, Mac, and Blue. And you know how Terrance went against his creator. We're basically doing that, but, of course, expressing some creativity with something that I like. Thanks to my art teacher back in high school. Whatever his name may be as of right now.
Proceed with unboarding, please.
Let's turn off the navigation
Starting
station.
unboarding.
Watch.
Unboarding finished, sir.
Yeah, I expedited that. Now let's put the new caseload aboard. Well, before I do, standard checks. Okay, good to know. Everybody's okay. Good to know. There's a reason why I tell you to hold on. No one puked? Alright. Okay, so it seems as if everybody's okay. It seems as if everybody's okay. Except for some reason I tend to keel airships over when I land them. That's unusual. So anyway, you know, I always dreamed of flying airships since I was a child. And of course, this is a place where I can live out those dreams. Flight simulator, that is, of course. So I chose to start my own series of Seeing Red. And now, of course, we go outside. The ship has keeled over. That's bad. That's basically how Red felt, you know, when, of course, he was instructed to destroy flowers. And of course, when Red turned against Terrance, you know how things went down, right? Speaking of which, let's do this.
Start boarding, please.
Roger. Starting boarding.
And as the video closes, thank you so much, Red Wing Simulations, for developing this add-on. You make my world shine. Yeah, my world shine. You really do. For allowing me to live out some fantasy like me and other aviation enthusiasts desire. Flying airships, of course. Okay, the new caseload is aboard.
Boarding finished, sir.
Okay, so now I'm going to close the boarding stairs and do one more check. And of course, felt like flying today, but didn't really have much to say. I really shouldn't have to be repeating myself, things like that. So of course, as these series progress with airships like I want them to, bear in mind that I'm not going to put as much chapters for the pre-flighting phase. For you should be relatively familiar with the routines. And if you're not familiar with the routine or anything like that, I'll work with you on the matter and I'll show and tell you where you can see these things.